Today, I'm going to show you how to use the new content-aware fill tool in Photoshop CC 2019. Hey there and welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nace. You can find me on phlearn.com where we make learning fun. And in today's video, we're going to show you one of the new updates for Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. This update is for the content-aware fill tool. And for those of you guys who don't know, the content-aware fill tool allows you to select an area in your photo within Photoshop and then automatically fill that area in using parts of your photo. So if you want to remove something from your image, basically it does it intelligently for you using the rest of your image to fill in that area. Now, the original content-aware was released years ago, and it's really a fantastic tool. And with the updates, they've added some new options. So if you don't get exactly what you want with your content-aware fill, you can use those options to fine-tune your results. The new features include the option of choosing where you want the tool to sample from. You can also have it scale, mirror, and choose your color and rotation adaptation. These new options really are great, and they give you more variables to get the right type of fill in your image. But it's not super intuitive as to know like, okay, I need to click this option and then it's gonna look perfect. It's still kind of a game of guess and check, turning things off and on and seeing what works. Different things seem to work well for one image and different things work well for a different image. So we're gonna be going over multiple images with the new content-aware fill tool. Interestingly enough, the old content-aware fill tool is actually still in Photoshop because you can get to content-aware in two different ways. So it seems like they updated it in one of the ways and didn't update it in the other way, which is kind of interesting. So we're going to show you the new content-aware fill as compared to the old content-aware fill, and we're going to show you how to use the spot healing brush, which also uses content-aware. All this to help you remove unwanted objects from your photos. It is important to note that you have to be using the new Photoshop CC 2019, so if you haven't updated, be sure to do so. We got a great tutorial for you. Let's jump into Photoshop. So here's our first image. Now you can download this on phlearn.com, just follow the link right down below. So in this case, we're gonna remove this helicopter. So let's start off with our lasso tool. You need to make a selection first. So in this case, we'll just create a little selection with our lasso tool. Very easy, just trace right around our helicopter. And we're gonna access our new content-aware fill tool. So let's check it out. We're gonna go to Edit and down to Content-Aware Fill. Now this is the first time that it's appeared in the menu. So Content-Aware Fill, and here are the new options. So already you'll notice there's a little preview here. Now this preview will actually give you a real-time rendered preview of what your end result is gonna look like. So you can see here, it is in fact removed the helicopter. Now, this is our image here on the left. The selected area is where we're actually going to be removing, and the green area is where you're going to be pulling information from. So in this case, it's pulling information from just about our entire photo. Now, we do have some options here on the left. I can choose where we'd like to pull some information from. For instance, if I want to minus out the mountains, right, because I want to fill this with sky information, okay, because we're trying to replace it with sky, right? So I can minus out the mountains and it's going to tell the tool, hey, don't include any information from the mountains when trying to fill in for the helicopter. You can also add or remove from your selections, and of course you can browse around your image using the hand and the magnifier glass. Now we've got some other options here, and let's just scroll right to about where my helicopter is. Here we can choose the opacity of my little overlay. Okay, again, this is just showing us where we're actually going to be sampling from for the content-aware. We have options for our color adaptation, none, default, high, and very high. And we have rotation adaptation as well. So this is going to work well if you're using an object that rotates around, like a plate with a design around the edges. This would work well. Now, again, in my experience using this new tool, it's a little bit of a guess and check. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I think this should be on full. And this one should be on very high, because of course that makes sense, right? That's the best. But sometimes it will result in something that doesn't look good at all. So again, it's a little bit more of a guess and check. And I just keep these usually on default and on none. Now we can scale options. Let's say it wants to take a cloud that's either larger or smaller and scale it up or down to fit what's going on. After all, it does try to make edges continuous. So an edge will hopefully continue to look more like it has a natural ending rather than just a big blur spot. And that's what scaling does. Mirror will allow you to flip something in order to make those edges continuous as well. So in this case, I'm going to uncheck these. Now this is a best case scenario when it comes to removing something, right? It's like a big dark helicopter on a light sky. It's relatively simple for this type of tool. So let's go ahead and choose. We can choose to output this to a new layer, the current layer, or the duplicate layer. Let's choose the new layer here. And that's usually what you're going to want to choose because that's a non-destructive way of editing. So we'll go to new layer and hit OK. And here we can see, we'll just deselect. On this new layer, we have in fact removed the helicopter. And if I have this layer visible, you can see this bit of cloud right down there. It's basically just pulling that information from somewhere else in my image and making it look somewhat realistic. So that's the new content aware fill tool, works really well. Let's go ahead and compare it with the old content aware fill tool, which is interestingly still in Photoshop. So to do that, what we're gonna do is let's make our background copy invisible. We're just gonna duplicate the background real quick, and let's go ahead and make a selection right around our helicopter once more. To get to our old content aware fill tool, you'll go to edit and down to fill. There we go. And here where it says contents, you're just gonna choose content aware. And I do recommend keeping color adaptation checked. So when I hit OK, we don't have any options. It just does it. There we go. You don't have scale, you don't have rotation, you don't have color adaptation options. That's just done. And as you can see, it pretty much did the exact same thing as the new content aware. So the new content aware tool in this case did pretty much the same thing as the old content aware fill. Now we did mention that that image was pretty easy for content aware fill. All it had to do is get rid of a helicopter on a pretty blank sky. So how does this tool work on a more complicated image? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. So this image is a little bit more complicated, and what I would like to do is remove some of these birds. So we're gonna go ahead and make a selection right around the birds. There we go. And what I'm hoping that the content aware fill tool does is tries to pull the railing in from this area here and information here and simply remove those birds. After all, we do have scaling options within the new content aware fill. So let's go to edit, down to content aware fill, and see what we get. So here is our result. Now I'm gonna go ahead and expand this out just a little bit so we can see it. Again, this is my final preview here, and it looks pretty good. I gotta say, it's doing a pretty good job. Not exactly what I would want because it's, these little lines are sticking up and that doesn't exactly match what everything else does. Let's see if working with our options allows us to fine tune this and make it actually look like what we wanted. So we're gonna start off with our color adaptation. Let's try turning that up to very high and seeing what that does. Okay, in this case, it actually makes it look a little bit worse. So let's bring that down to none. Okay, that seems to work well. There we go. Our rotation adaptation, rotation adaptation, that makes obviously work. It's pretty interesting, but it doesn't help out. Let's go to back to none. And you know what? Maybe we'll give it a little bit. Let's try a low. Okay, that seems to be helping out a little bit. Let's go back to medium and see how that works. Not really doing it. So this is what I mean, where it's still a little bit of a guess and check. You would think like, yeah, turn it all the way up and it'll use the full potential of rotation adaptation, but that's not exactly what's going on here. It just tells you how much you want to rotate it. So in this case, you still have to do a little bit of guess and check. Now let's turn on scaling, which will basically allow us to choose larger areas. So in this case, you can see it didn't quite work that well, but what scaling should do is choose areas where, for instance, our railing is a little bit larger, and it should be able to scale it down a little bit in order to make it fit. In this case, it didn't exactly do what we wanted, unfortunately, so we're gonna keep that unchecked. And let's click on mirroring, which will allow us to flip things symmetrically, either on the x-axis or on the y-axis. And in this case, unfortunately, it didn't help there either. So we're just gonna turn that off and see what we get. So we're gonna output this to a new layer, and we'll say, all in all, pretty good. I'm not like it. A railing does connect from here, kind of goes down and whatever. Like Is that a job that I would do manually as a professional? No, but for a magic, I say it's magic, but it's just a computer program. For an automatic computer program, it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and see how the old content-aware fill did in this exact same situation. So for that, we're gonna duplicate our background layer. Again, we're just gonna take our lasso tool and we're gonna make a selection, edit down to fill, and we're gonna choose content aware and hit OK and see how it does. There we go. So our old content aware tool, you can see for the most part did okay, but in this case, I do think the new content aware fill tool did work better. And really the only difference is we chose a slight amount of rotation adaptation, which allowed this to rotate and connect there and there, while the old content aware fill tool couldn't rotate this, and thus we have a little bit of a jagged line. So now we're bringing into the mix our third tool, which is the spot healing brush tool, which actually has content aware built into it. So let's see how that does as compared to the content aware fill tools. So let's get back into Photoshop. We're gonna choose our spot healing brush tool and make sure we turn on content aware. We also wanna make sure we hit sample all layers, which is gonna allow me to create a new layer. We'll just put this at the top. And then we can use the spot healing brush tool, which again has content aware. It's the same technology that those other tools are using, but this tool, basically you just paint over the area you wanna remove. There's no dialog process, there's no selection process. You just paint and it removes it. So let's see how it does. First, starting with our little bird up there, we're just gonna remove it. All right, second bird, gone. Third bird, gone. Little point still left over there. Okay, and this guy we can just paint right away also. Little areas left over. And you can see in what I would assume is less time, I mean, that didn't take me much time, it actually did a better job than the other tools. And I can continue going down here and remove all these. I'll try even removing this post and see how that does as well. Pretty dang good. So while, there we go. When we tried to get a little bit more complicated, this tool did act a little bit more like the other ones, but for the most part, it's performing really, really well. So now you can see how these three tools, all using content aware, perform stacked against each other. So what are my impressions of the new content aware fill tool? Well, I think it's awesome. Adobe is obviously working on their artificial intelligence, and they're really trying to make these tools easier for us to use. The new content aware fill does have some options that the old one didn't, and this does seem to help in some tricky areas. But I gotta say, my favorite tool of all still has to be the spot healing brush tool with content aware checked. I think the simplicity of the tool and the fact that I can just paint over exactly what I want and it's gonna completely disappear, plus the fact that I can do this on a new layer, means the tool still has the content aware functionality built into it and the ease of use of simply painting over the area you want to remove. So after seeing the new updates to the tool, it's obvious that Adobe is putting a lot of work into their AI and trying to make these complicated tools easier to use. I think we're at the super early stages of artificial intelligence helping the user use computer software better. I hope you enjoyed this little comparison video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We'll send you free tutorials every single week. Thank you so much. I'll Phlearn you later. Bye everyone. So we're gonna show you the new content aware fill tool. We're gonna show you the new content aware fill tool as it's a mouthful. So we're gonna show you the new content aware fill tool. So after using these tools, what are my impressions? Well, I am happy that Adobe, I think we lost a power thing.